Hello and welcome back to another episode of EJSMP. Today's task at hand is probably going to be dealing with this mess. That's right, the animals. I have designed a barn in Creative and I've gathered the materials and I'm thinking of placing the farming district right over here. Of course, we're gonna build some houses here, maybe have some more villagers, and we need to connect the path up. My plan is to kind of have the barn be here, and then have little crop posts here and around here. Maybe have a house or two just along these paths, and then have a little special area right here. The first thing I think we should start with is the barn, because that is the most important part, obviously, to house our animals. Before we get into that though, I'm interrupting the segment with the interior of our shop from last episode. So yeah, here goes that segment. So here we are at the shop we built last episode. And I've already gathered all the materials that we're gonna need. So the last thing left to do is to build. So let's get started. There we go. That is the interior of our shop done. As you can see, I was trying to go for like a cafe vibe. The only extra thing I want to do is maybe add a cat or two. And yeah. Now we have to add our stock in here once we get some stock. And then I also want to expand this outside area so that we can have a little cart for flowers. So I'm just quickly gonna do that and I'll be back once it's done. And here's the extension. I added a little archway here, and then here's our little flower cart. So the only thing left to do is to stock our shop. So here we go. Now we're back with our scheduled regular programming. Now I have the blocks, but I don't really have like the cut variants of them. So you get to watch me craft them. Let's get started on crafting our items. This should be most, if not all, of what we need. So I guess the last thing left to do is build it. And when we come back, I will build the interior with you guys. While I'm doing that, I may tell you my thoughts about Minecraft Live, since it just happened. So here is the time lapse. So there is our barn. Now real quick, I do want to give credits to Elise because this barn was heavily inspired by the one she made in Spawn. I'll put up a picture. It was very amazing and I loved it and I used it as inspo. So I just had to put that out there. But yeah. Now the interior. The only thing about the interior is well, I don't have the materials. Yep, I gathered all the materials just for the exterior and not the interior. So, would you like to come along with me for this material gathering? Well, too bad. You're going. Wonderful. Let's go. So, of course, we're gonna need jungle wood. The floors and the roof. We're gonna need a couple of decorative beehives. We're gonna need a few composters, of course. So let's just make a few. We're also gonna need a bunch of barrels. So let's just make a few more barrels. Maybe not 21, but 16 should do. We're gonna throw in a couple of note blocks. Well, just for some extra decor. Then of course you need your chest. We're gonna need a couple lanterns. We're gonna make more. And we're gonna need a couple. We're gonna make a few flower pots. And bigger pots. We're gonna need a chain. Let's craft some torches. Make some lanterns. Some soul ones. Oh. Some soul lanterns as well. We're gonna make some cauldrons as well. Pale oak trapdoors, jungle trapdoors. Some more pale fences. We're gonna need some oak trapdoors. We're gonna need hoppers. You'll see why. And while we're at it, let's craft some extra chests. And maybe extra composters, why not? And we're gonna need a tripwire and an armor stand, because we're gonna do a bit of armor stand art. We need 2 of those. Along with that, we're gonna need an iron hoe, some leather boots. The leather boots are to be dyed, of course. We're gonna need some ladders, more pale oak. We're gonna need more of our oxidized trapdoors, and a few more prismarine. We also need some cherry trapdoors. And cherry stairs. Then some end rods and a bunch of pumpkins, melons, and dried kelp. We don't have that just yet, so once we get the farms going, we'll place those right in. And of course, because we can't forget the flooring, we'll need even more jungle wood, some coarse dirt, some moss blocks, some rooted dirt as well, but we don't have any, so we'll have to get some later. And some brown concrete powder. This is definitely not enough, but once our cocoa beans grow, we can make some more. So I'm just going to toss this right here. And let's see if we can find ourselves an azalea tree. Oh. It's merged with the dark. It's merged with the dark oak. Well. No. Someone's been here. Wow. This is so sad. I'll be back when I found some rooted dirt. So I ended up just buying some from the shopping district because someone was selling them. So I bought 3 stacks. So I guess the last thing left to do is to build it while I tell you about my Minecraft Live thoughts. So, interior time! So I recently watched Minecraft Live, and I'm quite excited for the new features that are coming out. We have Nautilus, Zombie Nautilus, and zombie horses, and spheres. We cannot forget the spheres. I think my favorite is probably the zombie horses, because they've been in the game, but not really been in the game. And so it's quite exciting to see them pull something that they've had sitting into the game. However, I will say, I do miss the old Minecraft Live. I miss when we used to have once a year and one big update. Now, no hate to Mojang at all, because obviously they've done what they think is best for their game, and that's great. However, I do miss the one big update because I feel like it gives me more time to play in these older versions and not have to worry about updating the game as much. Whereas with these little drops, it feels like I have to update the game way too quickly, and sometimes that could be difficult when you have mods that you're waiting to update. And so I guess I just wish I could have more time to play with these updates instead of having to update the game every few months. At least for me, that's how it feels. I'm sure other people love the smaller updates, which can be great in some places. Even if they did a mix of both, one big update and then some small updates, that could also work too. And I would like that system better. I just think that the small updates can be a bit much for me sometimes. But that's okay. I mean, look at all the amazing features we got. We got copper golems, copper lanterns, copper torches, more copper decorating blocks. So the little updates have their uses, but I think I would want a bigger update soon. I also miss that Minecraft Live was one big live stream once a year. I don't know, it just was something that I'm used to, and I like being able to look forward to the one update a year. It brings more excitement for me, more things to look forward to, and yeah. Now here's a controversial take. I do miss the mob votes. I understand why they took it away, but sometimes I just miss being able to feel more interactive with the Minecraft Live, and I feel like the mob votes was one of the ways that we could be interactive in the live. However, of course, it caused issues, and so that is something I don't see them bringing back for a while, if not forever, which I understand. It's kind of upsetting, but I understand. But let me know your guys' thoughts on Minecraft Live. And here goes the next section. Now that we're back from that short little adventure, I want to continue building what we have here. So the next part I want to work on is the little gardens and then the little pens that I have decided to make for the extra animals. So let's get working on that. Now that we have the path set up, I want to start bringing in the animals just so we have that set up. And then the next thing will be to place the planners. I have them in mind, so let's get started on bringing the animals. Now that we moved the animals, we can tear down this fence and get working on what we have left. And don't worry, there'll be little stables for these guys too. Since we upgraded the server to the newest version, we have copper lanterns now. So I'm gonna place these and then we're gonna finish up with some final touches. We will also dabble more in the copper age in the next episode. So, as you saw in the time lapse, we've added all of our little details. The little plants, little flowers. This was not on the time lapse, but here's a little berry farm. I thought it was very cute. Now the next thing to do is, whoa, what's going on? Why is the ground shaking? Whoa! Look at all these flowers. They're amazing. Maybe we could get some more if we build up the village. Well, that's gonna be it for today's episode. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to the villager houses, the horse stables, or our nice little area over here because I've run out of time for this episode and recording. But next episode, we'll get right back to it along with a new building in our village. If you like what you saw, please do give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next episode. Bye!